What did we learn in NFL Week 8? We're going to start with Carolina. Cam Newton really makes the Panthers a playoff team. He's been very efficient the last few weeks. He's been very careful with the ball. He has not tried to do too much. He's been very good. I've been impressed, and the Panthers are a real playoff contender right now. And it's really based on Cam Newton really staying within himself. Tampa Bay, on the other hand, they're a franchise in ruins. Really, they looked like they might be able to compete for a playoff spot this year, and then with the Greg Schiano, Josh Freeman mess, they've just really sunk down to rock bottom. And I really blame Greg Schiano, and I think this is a team that's going to have to replace him, and they're going to have to replace a lot of players. And on a team that looked like they were going up, I think they're back down at the bottom, and they're worse than the Jaguars. They really are. Buffalo, forget about that game. Move on. It was a tough team. You're not out of it yet. There's some work to do, but I think Buffalo is a really good team. So don't be surprised if this team makes a run at the playoffs. They are a very good team. New Orleans, on the other hand, that offense is remarkable. They are really good. They will be tough to stop come playoff time, and I'm looking forward to seeing who will be able to stop them. Obviously, the 49ers have a chance. The Seahawks have a chance to stop them. Those type of defenses are what's going to be able to stop the Saints and not Buffalo. Pittsburgh, obviously not their year. This is the year I think they finally enter a new era. And it's probably soon to be the end of Roethlisberger's time, soon to be the end of Polamalu's time. Really a lot of things coming to an end and starting a rebuild possibly in Pittsburgh. Oakland, Terrell Pryor, I've been really impressed with this year. Obviously his opening run was very, very, very good. He's been good. Nothing spectacular, but with his dual threat of running and throwing, I think he's something the Raiders can actually really build around. For Atlanta, without Steven Jackson, I did not realize how much that actually hurt them. It kills. It really killed their season. They need a run game. They need at least the presence of a run game, and without Steven Jackson, their leading rusher against Arizona was Matt Ryan with 13 yards. That's not going to win you football games. That's not going to get you into the playoffs, and that's really a cause for concern in Atlanta. Where are they going to get a run game in the next few years? Arizona, Andre Ellington, really, that run game is really, really not bad the last few weeks, especially with Andre Ellington. He really makes the Cards a playoff contender, and there's 3 teams from the NFC West in that's a tough division, and the Rams aren't half bad either. So that is a very tough division, and I've been really impressed with the Cardinals. Dallas Cowboys, they need to be more efficient on offense. 14 for 30 for Tony Romo is not very good. You must have a 50% completion percentage at least to win football games. And I know they're explosive. They have the potential for big plays, but they need to be more efficient. Get those first downs, get the chains moving, complete passes, get the defense tired. Dallas really needs to improve that if they want to really be a contender in the playoffs, and if they want to contend for a national championship. Detroit, on the other hand, Calvin Johnson, wow. I'm impressed watching him. I watched him once in a live at the stadium, my only football game I've actually ever been to, and I was really impressed with him there. Just the size, the speed, the athleticism of this guy, just phenomenal. He may be the best receiver of all time. Jerry Rice probably maybe ahead of him, but that's a question to be determined later. But just wow, Calvin. San Francisco, run in. They have just taken it to the ground. Said, screw the passing game. We're going to go on the ground and we're going to pound it and pound it and pound it. And that's really why they're on a winning streak right now. So I applaud Jim Harbaugh for really getting back to that. That's what this team needs to do and continue to do. Jacksonville, I think they showed signs of improvement against San Francisco. Obviously, Maurice Jones-Drew with 75 yards, Cecil Short with 70 yards. Chad Henne didn't look terrible. I think they're really improving. So, Jacksonville fans, don't be too upset. I think your team has a lot of potential in the next few years. Cleveland, Josh Gordon is really good. Keep him. Regardless of his attitude issues, this guy is really, really good. Kansas City, they need to have a more explosive offense. They need a guy like Josh Gordon that can really break out the game, really break open the offense. And maybe Alex Smith isn't a quarterback that can take them to a championship, but we will see. I'm not sure if he can, but they definitely need more explosiveness from their offense. Miami, their number one priority next year has got to be fixing their O-line. It is awful. So that's obviously their number one priority, and it needs to be fixed fast if they want to win in the near future. New England, their offense is still sputtering. Something isn't clicking with Brady and his receivers. So Bill Belichick needs to make something happen. They're still winning football games, so that's a good thing for Belichick and the Patriots, but they need to figure something out soon. The Giants, they're becoming quite respectable, 2 wins in a row, and haven't looked terrible. They've looked okay, and they look to be, improving a little bit. So I guess it's not a terrible disappointment this season to the fans. Philadelphia, they need Michael Vick, obviously. This is a team that was competing for the NFC East title, but not anymore, I don't think. With Matt Barkley at the helm, they're definitely not going anywhere. With Nick Foles, they're not going anywhere. They definitely need Mike Vick back. They need him back in a hurry. The Jets, very inconsistent, but that's what you get with a rookie quarterback, and they may go 500 and split every week, and that's kind of an oddity, but with a rookie quarterback, not totally out of context or out of the realm of normal. Cincinnati, on the other hand, I think they're the real deal. A couple slip-ups in the last 8 weeks, but they've looked very good. They look like a contender. I'm not sure they're on the talent level of some other teams in the AFC, but they definitely could make some noise in the playoffs. Washington, their defense is terrible. You are up 21-7, and something went wrong, and I think it has to start on the defensive end. And I know it's tough to stop Peyton Manning, but maybe it's the coaches, maybe it's the offense, but that secondary is very weak. Denver, they really need more focus from the start of the game to the end of the game. It looked like they could come back last week in Indianapolis, but maybe they were behind by a little bit too much, and I think that was because they lacked focus. You could see they scored when they needed to, and they did it again this week in Washington. I think when they're focused, they can score anytime they want, but when they're not, they're going to run into trouble, and I think they need to really dial in and get focused so that when come playoff time, they can stay focused for all 60 minutes. Green Bay is really a complete package on offense. Now that they can run the ball, they can throw the ball, they are really good offensively. Defense a little weak, but that offense, very, very good. Minnesota, this was really a setback year for them. Adrian Peterson has looked underwhelming. Their quarterback situation is a mess. They were 10-6 last year, and now they're 1-6. That, unless they're winning the next 9 games, it's been a really disappointing year in Minnesota. Seattle, that offense really needs help, and they're not going to get help with Sidney Rice anymore. He's out for the season. But that O-line needs to be bolstered somehow, some way. That it's good that they're getting Percy Harvin back soon, but need some offense. They looked really, really bad against the Rams. For St. Louis, that was Zach Stacy's coming out party, and he was fantastic. If St. Louis can generate a run game, stay in games, that defense looked very good against the run. So I think the Rams might be okay if they can really get going. Kellen Clemens didn't look half bad, so not bad for the Rams. Really not a bad showing. That's it for what we learned in NFL Week 8. Next couple days we'll be getting you my Week 9 picks. Follow me on Twitter. Check out my blog. You know what's up.